Wisconsin water, what state officials are doing to keep it safe to drink. I'm Adrienne Pedersen, today on Upfront. Wisconsin's top environmental leader identifies polluted water as the state's top environmental problem.
And it does keep me up at night.
Next, the Department of Natural Resources Preston Cole on efforts to clean up water, fight climate change, and restore science at the agency. Plus, Wisconsin farmers in crisis, how to stop the worst case scenario from becoming a reality. And toll roads in Wisconsin, why advocates aren't giving up.
Taking on the issues important to Wisconsin. This is Upfront with your host, Adrienne Pedersen.
Thank you for joining us today. There's a change in direction at the Department of Natural Resources, and the agency's new leader says science is once again a priority. DNR Secretary-designee Preston Cole has identified water pollution and chronic wasting disease as Wisconsin's biggest environmental problems. He's promising to tackle both, along with climate change, which he has called the real deal. So we're talking about all of this now with Secretary-designee Preston Cole. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Governor Evers appointed you, but I've been hearing that Republicans and Democrats, they're both happy with this choice. So tell me about the direction that you want to take the DNR.
Well, we want to get back to the business of Aldo Leopold. We want to get back to conservation and wise use of our resources. This governor and this legislature have signaled to me that water is important. And on the heels of the people's budget, we know that this governor put water in first place because that's what he heard as he traveled around the state of Wisconsin. We're going to follow the science and we're going to follow the law as is associated with clean water and clean drinking water.
What are you most concerned about when it comes to our state's water?
It is eloquent and simple, the year of clean drinking water. We are doubling down on ensuring that people can turn on their tap and drink life-giving water. Too many communities around the state of Wisconsin are in harm's way. You merely have to go to Kewaunee County in that area of the state to see that karst topography, that slurry and dolomite, that bedrock is like Swiss cheese. So whatever falls on the land winds up in groundwater. People are in harm's way. Southwest part of the state of Wisconsin, it's nitrates in water. That nitrogen in the water is a death knell to babies and pregnant women. You have 130 cities, towns, and villages in the state of Wisconsin that have lead laterals. This is a statewide issue, and we should act. This governor, again, has appointed me to do that work to provide safe drinking water for every corner of the state.
I've heard you say that water keeps you up at night. This is a real concern for you and potentially a crisis. Tell me specifically about the chemicals you're worried about getting into our water.
Well, these emerging chemicals like PFAS, and these are chemicals that in nature don't exist. These are bioaccumulating chemicals that don't leave our bodies.
This is something like I was reading things from Scotchgard and the firefighter foam, right? Absolutely. Okay.
And so we have to protect Wisconsinites from this chemical. Again, it bioaccumulates. It is harmful not only to the environment, it's in drinking water, it's in our groundwater and our surface waters. So what did we do? We hired 2 additional PFAS scientists to work on modeling to tell us where it is and where it's not.
And I understand, too, that was part of the budget, these science positions. The governor wanted 5 originally, but as you mentioned, Republicans approved 2, and they're working on water. Is that enough, those 2?
This is the down payment that the governor is ensuring the people of the state of Wisconsin. He made water a central issue of his campaign. And here today, we're going to be able to work with those additional staff to solve some of the most harmful crises around drinking water. And it does keep me up at night. How do you live? How do you operate on bottled water? How do you shower? How do you feed your family? Not only are these types of circumstances in certain areas of the state, it's across the state. You know, if you're in the Central Sands, you know that your water percolates faster than anyone else. If you're in the city of Milwaukee or if you're in Superior, where lead laterals are as well, you know that you have concerns about what you're ingesting. We want to eliminate that concern. And I am responsible, one of the individuals responsible, along with the DNR staff and researchers, this legislature, and certainly this governor, we're going to double down on improving our water quality because too much is important for the state of Wisconsin.
And how fast can you do that? How fast can you act on this?
Well, let me tell you, we are acting Currently, with those positions, I myself have gone to the laboratories of the EPA to see the researchers who developed the test to find PFAS. So I'm taking this personally, not only from the budget perspective. This governor has allowed us to make sure that we have the requisite position. So as I said before, we're now have a down payment on water quality in the state of Wisconsin, and we're acting now.
You call climate change the real deal. What is the DNR doing about it?
Well, again, we bring researchers in from the university. The Department of Natural Resources doesn't have climate change researchers. We get that information from the university. Our foresters today are looking at what are the structures in our forest canopy that allows trees to be carbon sinks. As you know, whether it's in other parts of the world, trees are carbon sinks. We are actually looking at those structures to figure how biotically they capture carbon. That said, planting trees is just one of the simple ways of abating carbon. Again, what we are also looking at, the issues around water quality. Our scientists are the investigators, but they're also the application. They apply applied sciences to rivers, lakes, air, water. And so that's what we're doing.
I know you know about this, that at the end of 2016, the DNR took down some wording on its website that said that humans had a hand in causing climate change. Instead, they wrote that the causes are up for debate. Is that a debate?
Not with me.
Are you adding that back in?
I think we are right now in the throes of revamping our website. So staff are currently working on verbiage that talks about the implications of climate change and where it stems from. It stems from what's coming out of the end of pipes and stacks. It comes from a lot of things that impact us that we have to worry about. So we are actively engaged in revamping our website to allow people to weigh in. We want to hear from citizens, we want to hear from CEOs, we want to hear from everyone as to what they're doing. Quite frankly, we're following the lead of corporate Wisconsin. You can't go to a website of major corporations in the state of Wisconsin without seeing their commitment to stewardship, their commitment to resolving climate change, and they're taking an active role. So I'm proud that Wisconsin's businesses and that corporate community in Wisconsin are leading and not following.
And under Scott Walker's administration, people would kind of criticize how he made the DNR business friendly, what they call business friendly. Is that going to change under your leadership?
Well, you have to know that the Department of Natural Resources is tied to economic development. Talk about our state parks and what that means for cities, towns, and villages who are close to state parks. It's economic development. We have to spend money to get rid of contaminated sediment in some of our lakeshore communities. And what that means is they can have those boardwalks, they can have those restaurants that overlook those lakes. So economic development is tied to the Department of Natural Resources. Our responsibility is to make sure that economic development is performed in a way that is safe and not harmful to our environment. We can't, move away from our environmental protections merely for economic development. They're hand in hand.
Preston Cole, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
My conversation with Secretary Cole continues now on our website. We're talking about chronic wasting disease and the threat to the state's deer herd. So you can find that on the Upfront section of WISN.com. Then later on Upfront, the group that says toll roads are probably inevitable in Wisconsin. And next, farmers in crisis. I'll talk to a family farm advocate who has specific ideas on what should be done to help.
Upfront, brought to you by WPS Health Insurance.